Hey guys, so welcome to this video where we look at the select into statement in SQL Server or T-SQL as the language is known. And so let's dive right into the select into statement. So basically this is a statement that allows you to create new tables from existing tables in your SQL Server database. So let's just pull up the slide. As you can see, the select into statement copies data from one table into a new table. So I've put the syntax up as well. It's just a basic select star, and here's the difference: into a new table, from old table, and you can specify the conditions, or you can do any other grouping or aggregation or ordering, just as you do with normal select statements. So basically, if you would have noticed, you would have seen that it's basically just a normal select query, which is returning a table of data to you. But after the select keyword, we specify this into new table keyword. So whatever data that was normally would have been returned for you to just see, that is now being stored into a new table with this into keyword here. So I'll just show you the sample data that we're using for this demonstration as well. It's a table called students. I've got the first 10 rows here for you. We've basically just got an ID, a first name and a last name, an email, the gender, and an IP address. Yeah, it's just a random mix of data, and it's quite a simple table just to make this demo easy for you guys. And let's set up the environment. I'm using Azure Data Studio, which is the tool you need on Mac to use SQL Server. If you're on Windows, you're using SSMS probably, but I've got installation guides to both of these. If you don't have them already, you can check them out in the top right corner or description. Apart from this, I've also linked to a GitHub repository which has the sample data that we'll be using, so you can just copy that and paste it into your SQL Server tool, and you're ready to follow along with me. So let's dive in and just check out the sample table. So as I've said earlier, we've got ID, first name, last name, email, gender, and IP address. So let's start with the select into statement. So the first thing we would try is just to basically use the select into statement and copy all the data from one table into a new table. So being the inventive person that I am, I'm going to call the new table students2, and let's copy all the data from the table students. So how would we do that? So we do select star, and then we do into new table name. So that would be students2 from students, or the old table name. So let's just run this query. Selected this and we've run it, and you can see 100 rows of vectors. That means this has completed because the old table had 100 rows, and we should have a new table called students2. So let's just confirm select star from students2 and run. Yep, so we can see that it's worked for us. And now we can also use, suppose we wanted to create a new table which is a filtered variant of the first table. So suppose we wanted all the students who were girls, right? So, and we wanted to put them into a table. Again, being inventive, I'm going to call it girl students. So how would we do that? So we do a select star into new table name, or girl students in this case, from students, which is the old table name, where gender, because the column, as you can see, is named gender, is equal to, and in quotes because it's a string, female, with the case matching the data in the old table. So now if we run this, we can see 47 rows affected, because I think there must have been just 47 rows where the gender was female. So let's just confirm that we've got a new table called girl students with only girls, and let's run this. Yeah, so now if you look at the gender column and the ID column, you can see that rows are missing, and we've only got the rows where the gender has been marked female. And now coming to probably the most important where you would be using the select into most in a real applicative sense, that would be to move only specific columns of the old table into a new table. So what that means is, suppose you were actually working on a solution for a client or a customer. They probably have large tables with hundreds and hundreds of columns. So you don't want that, right? So you just wanted a bit of a subset of the data or a subset of the columns in that old table to form a new table. So how would you do that? So that would be done by, instead of specifying the asterisk, we just specify the column names that we need. So suppose I wanted to create a table with just the names, and again, being inventive, I'll call the new table names. It's just got the first name and last name rows columns from the old table. I don't know why this case is matching into names from students. So what this should do is it should create a new table names with just the first name and the last name columns from the old table students that we started out with. So when we run this, 100 rows affected because we've not filtered it, but as you can see, if we do select star from names, what would happen is run. Yeah, so here you can see that what's happening is basically it's created a new table with just the first name and the last name columns that were in the original students table. So that's a little bit about the select into statement. It's quite a powerful statement when used in large data sets and data warehouses and things like that. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video, comment if you have any more queries, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. So once again, thank you guys.